So there are two types of business owners: those that are constantly scrambling to find decent people, and those who have a line of A players waiting to work for them. The difference? Well, I'll tell you, it's not luck, it's not the connections, it is entirely how they hire. Most business owners are following a broken playbook. This playbook will keep them stuck in an endless cycle of bad hires and frustration. Meanwhile, millionaires and billionaires are doing the exact opposite. And today, I'm gonna break down exactly what they do differently. Now, if you're new here, my name is Jared Black. I'm the founder of New Vine Employment Group. And over the last decade, I partnered with hundreds and hundreds of businesses all over the globe, specifically to help them find and hire critical talent. And many of those companies are led by millionaires and even billionaires. Now, I'm not saying that to brag, but I am saying that because I have had a front row seat to how the wealthiest, most successful business operators in the world approach hiring. And let me tell you, I've noticed something. They all follow the same patterns, the same principles, and the same non-negotiables. So here on this channel, I share actionable recruiting strategies that help business leaders just like you attract and hire top talent without the guesswork, without the costly mistakes, without the years of trial and error. So today I'm counting down the top 7 hiring traits of millionaires and billionaires. And here's what's interesting. Most of these traits are the exact opposite of what the average business owner does on a regular day-to-day basis. So if you've been hiring the way that most people hire, this might sting a little bit, but that's okay, because by the end of this, you're gonna know exactly what needs to change. So let's get into it. So let's start with habit number 7. Millionaires always keep their pipeline full. What I mean by that is most business owners wait until they're absolutely desperate, then they start to scramble to find somebody. Here's what I mean. The millionaire-led companies that I have worked with, they're always recruiting, no matter what. Even when they don't have an open position, even when the team is fully staffed, they're having conversations with top talent. They're building relationships, and they're keeping a list of people that they would hire tomorrow if the right roles opened up. That way, if someone leaves or they identify a new need within their organization, they're not posting on Indeed and hoping for the best. They already know exactly who to call. Now, think about the alternative. Waiting until you're just absolutely drowning in work, until you're so desperate that you can barely keep up, and then by some miracle, somebody walks into your office, they show up, they have a decent resume, and then you hire them on the spot. That's not really vetting. There's no real process there. You're just relieved that anyone showed up and said yes. And here's the crazy thing, most people hire this way, but to be honest, the best candidates, they're just not available on job boards. They're not waiting around for your job posting to hit Indeed. They're already employed somewhere. They're already successful. And the only way you're gonna have access to them is either through relationships that have been built over time, or by partnering with experts who already exist in those networks. And that's why millionaires work with recruiters who have a deep domain expertise. They're using those relationships to tap into talent pools that most people just don't even know exist. Let's move on to number 6. Millionaires hire specialists. You see, most business owners will hire one person to wear 10, 11 different hats. And look, I get it. When you're trying to keep costs down, it seems logical to just hire one person who's good at doing a little bit of everything. But here's what actually happens when you do that. You just wind up getting somebody who gets stretched thin, they get burnt out, and they're delivering average work across multiple areas. They're not doing anything really special. Mark Zuckerberg has talked about this quite often. He specifically says he hires people who are exceptionally good at one thing. He does not want somebody who's mediocre at 10 things. He wants deep expertise in a specific domain or area. And the really cool thing is that when you build a team like that, where each person is just absolutely owning and dominating their area at an elite level, you get what's called a company of giants. So think about like this for a second. Would you rather have one person who's a 6 out of 10 in marketing, finance, and operations? Or would you rather have 3 people who are each a 9 or a 10 in their one specific area? The latter costs more upfront, but it delivers exponentially on the back end for much, much better results. Because specialists, they don't just simply execute, they also innovate. They see opportunities that most people miss. They solve problems at a level that generalists just can't reach. And here's the other piece. Millionaires design their teams around complementary strengths. They take visionary plus operator, strategist plus executor. They're not hiring people who do the same things that they do. They're filling the gaps with people whose skills make the whole team stronger. Let's move on to number 5. Millionaires surround themselves only with people that they admire. What I mean by that is most business owners will settle for whoever applies. Back in 1998, Jeff Bezos wrote a shareholder letter that went pretty viral at the time. He said the first question that Amazon leaders should ask before hiring someone is, will you admire this person? That's a question that Amazon leaders were told to ask themselves. Here's what he wrote in his letter. If you think about the people that you've admired in your life, they are probably people that you've been able to learn from or take an example from. I've always tried to work only with people I admire, and I encourage folks here to be just as demanding. Life is definitely too short to do otherwise. Think about that for a second. Life is too short. Most of us in our day-to-day work lives, we spend more waking hours with our team than we do with our actual families. So why would you settle for people that you just genuinely don't respect? And when you work with people that you admire, people who challenge you, people who inspire you, they make you better, work doesn't feel like a grind. There's actual meaning behind the work. There's energy. It's being shared across the group. There's a shared mission that's just pulling everyone forward. But when you settle for whoever shows up, you get people that you have to push. You get people that you have to manage. You get people that just drain your energy instead of multiplying it. And Bezos has said this explicitly. He wants people that he has to hold back, not push forward. That's the standard. Let's move on to trait number 4. Millionaires will make decisive hiring decisions, but not impulsive ones. Most business owners either drag out a decision forever or hire the first person out of desperation. Let me explain the difference. Decisive means that you have a clear process. You know exactly what you're looking for. You gather the information you need, and once you have it, you make the call. You don't do 8 rounds of interviews. You don't sleep on it for 3 weeks. You make a decision and you move. But decisive is not the same as impulsive. Impulsive is skipping steps because you're desperate. You're making exceptions here and there. You're ignoring red flags because you need someone right now. That's how you end up with a very, very expensive mistake. So millionaires have a process. They define the role clearly, they source candidates proactively, and they evaluate through multiple filters. Then they decide, not slow, not reckless, just decisive. So think about it like this for a second. Imagine you're gonna buy a house. You wouldn't make an offer after seeing just one photo, right? But you also wouldn't tour 47 or 50 houses after 6 months without making any decision either, right? So you do your research, you narrow it down, you evaluate your top options, and then you'd pull the trigger and make an offer. That's decisive. Unfortunately, most business owners will either panic buy on their first house or they'll just endlessly tour houses without ever committing to any decision. Millionaires, they do neither. They move with speed and confidence because they've done the work up front. Now let's move on to trait number 3. Millionaires prioritize integrity over everything else. Most business owners will prioritize skills and experience first. But Warren Buffett has been saying this for decades. He looks at 3 things when hiring: integrity first, intelligence, energy. Specifically in that order. His exact quote is, if you don't have the first, the other 2 will kill you. So think about the math on that. High intelligence plus high energy plus low integrity equals what? You get a fast, smart person who will cheat you and lie to you and destroy your culture from the inside. And because they're intelligent, you probably won't even see it coming. Now, this isn't just Buffett saying this. Ray Dalio also takes a very similar approach, where he explicitly prioritizes how a person thinks and behaves over their current skill. Why, you ask? Well, because skills can be taught, but character, it just cannot be taught. It has to be something naturally and ingrained within you. So if someone doesn't have integrity at their core, no amount of training is going to fix that. And here's the proof that this actually works. Still, today, there are billions of dollars in deals getting done just off handshake agreements. No army of lawyers, just a simple handshake. How is that possible? Well, because the trust between the 2 parties, that's the power of integrity. When you have it, deals move fast, trust is built, and business just flows. Oh, and another thing, Buffett also says hiring somebody to change them is just as crazy as marrying somebody to change them. If integrity isn't there from the start, walk away. Now we're on to trait number 2. Millionaires architect leverage into everything. So let me explain what I mean by leverage. Essentially, leverage is anything that will multiply your output without multiplying your input. It's really how you get more results without working more hours. And millionaires are obsessed with this. Now, there are 3 types of leverage when it comes to hiring: people, process, and systems. If we think about people as leverage, millionaires concentrate on leveraging in a small number of very, very strong people. They don't hire 20 mediocre employees. they hire 5 very exceptional ones. Why do they do this? Well, because one world-class person delivers 10x the results of an average person, and they don't require constant supervision. They just execute. Now, process as a leverage, that's when they build repeatable systems, so decisions don't require their constant involvement. Amazon has something called the bar raiser program. Essentially, what this is a group of employees on top of their regular jobs. They are specifically trained to evaluate candidates and keep the hiring bar high. So Bezos doesn't have to be in every single interview. This process ensures that quality is going to continue growing without him. And lastly, systems as leverage. Technology, automation, anything that produces results without requiring the direct time for each single transaction. The goal is very simple with this. Build it once, benefit from it forever. Now here's the contrast. Most business owners try to do everything themselves, or they just hire cheap labor that they have to constantly manage and they have to just redo the work, and they're just on a hamster wheel that just winds up spinning faster and faster and faster the harder that they work. There's no leverage, there's no compound effect. It's just more effort and the same or less results. And finally, we're on to trait number 1, the most important trait of all. Millionaires protect their most valuable commodity, which is time. You see, most business owners optimize for saving money. Instead, they should be protecting time. But for millionaires and billionaires, time is the most valuable asset. Not money, not status, time. Because time is the only resource that you can never get back. And here's how it shows up in the hiring process. Every single hiring decision is a time decision. A bad hire? Well, you just lost months, maybe even years of your life. You're managing them, coaching them, redoing their work, recruiting again, starting all over again. Whereas a good hire, that's time multiplied. They take things off your plate. They execute without you. They solve problems before you even know the problem existed. And here's the crazy thing. All 7 of these traits that we just talked about, they're all designed to protect time. Keeping your pipeline full means you're not wasting months scrambling when somebody leaves your company. Hiring specialists means you're not redoing mediocre work. Only working with those or people that you admire means you're not spending energy managing people that you just don't respect. Making very decisive decisions means you're not dragging out processes for months and wasting time. Prioritizing integrity means you're not dealing with the chaos of a dishonest person on the back end. And building leverage means you're multiplying your results without multiplying your hours. It all funnels back down to time. And that's what millionaires understand that most don't. Money exists to protect and multiply their time. It's not the other way around. They buy time aggressively. They outsource, they delegate, and they build teams, which means that they can focus on the highest value work. Strategy, relationships, growth, instead of getting buried in execution work. And because they're incredibly protective of their time, millionaires measure success completely different. Most people measure success maybe by how much money they've made. Millionaires measure success by how much control they have over their time. It's their ability to say no, the quality of their work and the relationships. It's time freedom. That is the real wealth. Now, here's the trap that most business owners fall into. They try to save $50 an hour by doing it themselves, but they don't realize that they're burning $500 an hour of their own strategic time. They're optimizing for cost, not for time protection. And that's why they stay stuck. So here's the filter that millionaires use before every single hire. Ultimately, it comes down to this. Will this person give me more time or cost me more time? If the answer isn't clearly give me more time, they don't hire that person. So here's what I want you to do. If you're sitting here thinking, okay, I see where I've been going wrong with this, but where do I actually start? I've got a free tool that'll help you. It's called the Hiring Success Scorecard. It evaluates your current hiring process and shows you exactly where you're strong and where you're vulnerable. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and you'll get a personalized report that tells you exactly what to fix first. I've gone ahead and dropped the link in the description below. Just go ahead and click the link, take the assessment, and see where you stand. And if you want to understand the full financial impact of getting hiring wrong, go ahead and watch this video right here, where I break down the real cost of making a bad hiring decision, and the numbers will shock you. Thanks for watching.